Vaughn,
Hey,
welcome to the show.
thank you. Thanks for having me.
I know you're extremely busy and you took time out of the day to give me a grand tour of the dream, and I really appreciate it.
Anytime, anytime. Welcome to Dreamland.
Yeah. So, really quick, we can just kind of jump right into it.
Let's go.
For the listeners, though, you have like an extraordinary track record.
Yeah.
Tell me more about your origin story.
Yeah.
How did you get here?
Okay. Yeah, no problem. So, I was actually born in South America, in Guyana, in Georgetown, and moved to New York when I was 8 years old. Lived in Queens and Brooklyn, and then from there went to Hofstra University in Long Island, and then got into the hospitality industry after I graduated with my political science degree from Hofstra University. And the industry kind of stole my heart. So I started as a bellman manager in training at the Gansevoort Park Avenue. I learned an incredible amount from some amazing leaders, and then transitioned over to Dream Downtown, where I was the bell captain manager in training, and then quickly ascended to the guest service manager role there. And then I think it was like 7 or 8 months later, the director of guest services, while simultaneously being prepared and trained by one of my mentors to become a general manager one day. And I had to take a deep, internal dialogue and try to figure out exactly what type of general manager I wanted to be one day. So I went to Two Roads at Hotel 50 Bowery and was in the capacity of a director of front office at the time, opening hotels for Two Roads, part of their task force team, traveling all over the country, whilst also making sure that we were prepared to deploy Hotel 50 Bowery in a timely and efficient manner. So yeah, that helped. That was another accelerated growth track for me, which was really fascinating. And from there, I became the director of rooms, and then the hotel manager, and then the interim general manager. And right when I was getting ready to officially be the general manager, I had a couple of phone calls come in, and one of which was saying, "Hey, you want to move to La La Land?" I was like, "What kind of question is that?"
Wow.
I'm already there. So moved here in 2019 as a general manager, Dream Hollywood. And, we started ideating on all the new concepts that you see us deploying here at the hotel, and in the hopes of stimulating, innovative spirit within the hospitality industry. And I became the managing director in April, whilst also wearing a hat as the CEO of Relevant Hospitality. So, still overseeing Dream Hollywood, but we have Mother Wolf, we have Citizen News, we have another new venue that's opening up called Spotlight, and a restaurant concept that I can't speak too much about. It's going to be exciting. Wow. And then a nice little secret members-only bar called Mars Bar as well.
Okay.
And then since April, we now have about 35 different projects in the pipeline.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
all over the
hands are full.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. Wow. I'm really excited and looking forward to all of that. And hopefully I get the invitation when time comes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really curious though, like what was it about the Dream Hollywood's team that made you say, okay, this feels like home?
Oh yeah. It was, first and foremost, I think it's important to identify that the team members that were here when I first arrived, I also work with them in New York at Dream Downtown. So we already had about 4 years and, 5 months of a lot of building together. Same energy, same mindset. And when I arrived, it was pretty much just picking up where we left off, but then taking it to the next level.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. That's really, I like the sound of that, because you always want to think about your colleagues, the team that you're going to be working with, and making sure that that collaboration is cohesive. And you just naturally felt that when you got in.
Yeah. And, for us too, culture is extremely important, right? And I learned specifically at Two Roads, just the importance of a community and a culture within your organization. So we brought a lot of nuances to the culture here at Dream Hollywood that didn't traditionally exist. And now we just decided as a team collectively to continue to harness the power and the energy of that culture and build it up to the point where we can start scaling it outside of the hotel, so that within our network here in Los Angeles, we're known as having, one of the best places to work, where you can learn exponentially, and still have a good time and enjoy your experience within hospitality.
Wow. And that definitely shows outwardly too, because, you know, whenever I experience any one of your brands, I could tell the level of thought and process that goes into it.
Yeah.
And translates to the end consumer through the quality of the service, right?
Yeah. I mean, you take care of your team members, they're going to take care of your guests.
Yeah.
Right. So I think, unfortunately, we have a lot of top-down approaches to a lot of the things that we handle in life. I would highly encourage everyone to just really subscribe to first principles, take it back to the origin and build from there, and then look for any opportunities within the lifeline or life, I guess, span of that specific topic that you're researching.
Wow. Okay. That was very insightful.
You can get deeper if you want.
Right. I mean, I don't want to, go super deep into it.
No.
But let's to segue a little bit though.
Yeah.
Like, describe Dream Hollywood in 3 words.
Iconic, epic, exciting.
Wow. And I really do feel that when I walk through the hallways. Yeah,
Thank you.
It speaks through the hallways.
Yeah, everything that's a part of the design story of the hotel was all built out by the team countless years, just ideating as to exactly how they wanted to position the hotel, how they wanted the brand to be positioned moving forward as well, because this hotel is considered the flagship of the Dream brand. And we partnered with Rockwell, and they pretty much built a very unique story in every aspect of the hotel design. For example, walking through the hallways of the guest floors. I don't know if you noticed, but if you look to the right and up on the wall, it looks like sunlight shining through palm tree branches.
Wow.
Right. And then the carpet in the hallway is a mixture of the Pacific Ocean meeting the sand.
Wow.
And then when you walk into the rooms, you're going to see it's going to be this gorgeous blue carpet, but that's supposed to embody the Pacific Ocean. And then you have the headboards that are just the sand of the beach. And then if you look up at the tapestry on the wall, there's 2 tapestries. One is the Sepulveda Pass, is showing traffic. And it's just gorgeous the way it looks, because a lot of our guests, every time I ask them, they're like, oh, it's like sand sprinkling from the heavens. And no, it's just traffic.
Wow.
And then we have another one, the other tapestry reflects the topographical view of Hollywood. And then when you walk into the hotel itself, Rockwell, they have a flair for the theatrical, right? They also work within studio design for Broadway plays. So a lot of those elements were intertwined throughout the design of the hotel. And the lobby itself is supposed to be reflective of the living room of the neighborhood, but specifically the Hollywood Hills.
Oh.
So when you see all of the flora and fauna and the botanicals mixed into the lobby experience, that's what that is. There's even the mountainous landscape of Los Angeles embedded into the tiles when you're walking in.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, I'm just like, the level of detail in the design is impeccable.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's really good. It seems like, there's a lot integrated into all of this.
Yeah.
Like, so how do you manage the responsibility of maintaining the legacy of this hotel and its embodiment and combining it as like a Mecca or a nightlife destination between, the entertainment venues upstairs and the hotel guests that stay in these rooms? How do you balance all of that together?
Yeah, you have to spend a tremendous amount of time really building up your data repository. And what I mean by that is just gather as much information about the location that you can, meaning Hollywood itself, right? Specifically where we are here in Selma and Cahuenga. So we're always going to be steeped in the culture of the neighborhood and try to embody the culture and amplify the culture of whatever historically happened within the specific location. So this is actually in the Vinyl District, which is a new sub-district that we created to celebrate the history of music in Hollywood, because Hollywood is synonymous mostly for movies.
Yeah.
But in actuality, the first recording device for music was invented here. The first ever record recorded was recorded here in Hollywood. Yeah, so you had from the Beatles to Michael Jackson. I mean, our next door neighbors are Diane Warren, Dionne Warwick, and Damon Elliott. I just don't know how many Grammys they have between each other. It's probably 20. Who knows? But yeah,
Wow.
legends.
Yeah.
Right. And if you ever dig deep into the history of Hollywood, specifically in the music industry, you'd be pleasantly surprised to see that a lot of the major innovation transpired here. So for us, understanding that, building up a data repository, right? Then from there, you start building, right?
Yeah.
So in the same sense that systems architecture would build, right? So then you have your standard operating procedures, you have your service culture, you build out your guest journey, you map everything out in advance.
Wow.
Yeah, no, we don't. Yeah, I don't. You know, it's so fascinating. There's a lot about the hospitality industry that I don't think people are aware of. I think, for the most part, my family pretty much thinks I just hang out with celebrities all day and just chill.
You know what?
You have the best job ever. You just relax all day. You know, I have to manage a business, so oversee the vision of the company, the marketing strategies of the company, the sales strategies, the revenue strategies, operations, making sure it's streamlined and efficient, managing your expenses, major. Right?
I'm glad you brought that up because
We run a real business here.
Yeah, a lot of outsiders think it's all optics, but
I wish.
yeah, there's a lot of moving parts, a lot of strategy, and ultimately comes down to execution.
It does. Yeah. And within this industry, you have to be nimble and agile because, you know, there are an immense amount of other hotels that are also competing for the same eyeballs. Right. We're in the same game as the social media companies. We're competing for attention. Eyeballs. They get the eyeballs, you get the guests in the building. Right. So for us, it's always about how do you create an edge? How do you create something that's so unique and revolutionary that you're able to attract and take more of the market share than your competitors?
And James Hollywood did that so well.
Thank you.
Yeah. So to segue a little bit though, like I assume you take all of that into account when factoring requests for special events, right? So when someone wants to hold a special event here, what like signature element can they expect to come with that?
Well, there's quite a bit. We actually designed all of our food and beverage outlets intelligently with the understanding that it should be a dynamic space as opposed to a static space, right? We have a belief system that nothing in the cosmos is static. Everything moves, right? Even down to like a subatomic level, everything moves, it's constantly vibrating. Yeah. So you have to create with that mindset. So we have the ability to either have full seated dinners at our restaurants, or we can close down the restaurant, remove all the furniture, completely change the look and feel of the space and turn it into a massive event. Yeah. So what you can expect is an elevated experience with the best food and beverage programming and an extremely efficient team that will be hyper-focused on ensuring that your event goes off without a hitch. And, you know, to speak to some of the events that have transpired here in the past, this is all public knowledge, so I can speak about.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. And if we need to, we can break some NDAs too.
Okay. Legal is somewhere flying around like you're not breaking any NDAs. No, but
let's do it.
Yeah, let's go. Stay dangerous, my friend. No, but so we had Kevin Hart's birthday party here where he did a full buyout of Tao. It was the coolest thing ever. He actually replaced all of the pre-existing statues of the Buddhist monks with Kevin Hart statues.
Okay.
And he gave them to all of his guests upon departure. But that was an extremely impactful event for us. We also had Grey's Anatomy's, I think that was like their 2000th season. Yeah. I'm just kidding. I think they're 25, right? I don't know how many years they've been around, but it feels like it's a long time. But they had their big party here on our rooftop as well, which, you know, for these major brands and individuals to choose our team to execute on their vision comes with a huge level of responsibility, but determination, because it's very important to us as a brand and as a team that we continue to elevate the brand and the standards and the experiences that we offer. We never want someone to come here and have an event and leave with a sour taste in their mouth. because their likelihood to recommend reduces significantly if that's the case.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and I've attended quite a few events here, so I'm a testament to that the quality of the experience here is top tier. But with that being said, Hollywood is one of the most saturated markets in nightlife and hospitality. Like when it comes to hotels and nightlife, with all of that saturation, how does Dream continue to stand out? Like, how do you do that?
Yeah, well, without giving away too much of the secret sauce, we actually work with aliens. That's the secret sauce. No, I'm just kidding. No, what we do, we have to be very strategic about our programming and our planning and our execution of all the events. So 7 days are programmed here on campus, one. And it's very important, that the team understood why we programmed every day. We want our guests to feel like every day that they stay at Dream is a unique opportunity to get an elevated experience that they probably have never had before. So we sprinkle in our programming strategically throughout all of our venues. We work with some really, really impactful strategic partners to have some of the events. I know you see some of the big names of some of the artists that perform here. Highlight Room. New Year's Eve is going to be a blast as usual. Our Halloween party is considered one of the biggest Halloween parties in all of Los Angeles. These iconic moments that are cataloged throughout the history of culture are happening, mostly at our hotels.
Yeah. Speaking of partnerships, I imagine it does take a village to execute at that level. Mm-hmm. Can you talk to me a little bit more about how these partnerships come together and who are these partners that are most valuable to you as a strategic partner?
Yeah, we have so many, my goodness. Relationships.
Yeah.
That's it. Relationships are everything. And as you continue to build relationships within your specific field or sector, it's really important that you continue to develop those relationships, because you'll never know when they'll pick up the phone and call you and say, hey, I want to do a full gifting suite with Puma at your guest house in your presidential suite, which had, I think, close to a 10 million reach on social media, right? Like, that's the power of relationships, because I know that this is a friend of mine, right? And that will execute at the highest level because they value the friendship. And then vice versa for us. Now, when that friend calls me, I'm like, no, we have to do it. And we have to do it at a very high level with no variability, because individuals have their own brands, right? And if your brand is attached to another brand, then your brand can be tarnished if that brand that you work with or for doesn't execute. So it's just a cyclical understanding about the importance of branding and brand awareness, partnerships and relationships that helps us to continue to foster and grow those key partnerships to be able to execute with some of the events and pop-ups and programming that we've had here on property. We have a lot of strategic partners. I don't even know where to start. I think one of the ones that we could mention would be Relay Robotics, and they're the ones that provide the 2 robots that deliver to our guest rooms here at the hotel. The Crypt Gallery is another strategic partner. They were the partner that was instrumental in helping us launch the world's first NFT gallery here at the hotel. We have another strategic partner with Alto, which provides our house car services, right? But it's more of a ride-sharing app similar to Uber. And we also have another partnership with Faraday, which is the FF91. So here at the hotel, we have a car that's one of 8 that we can be able to offer VIP services with. And it's an electric car. It's like a $400,000 car. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, the list of strategic partners goes on and on and on. We've done some great events with Puma. We even have a podcast incubator here where we had Leah Marvel, who is a former Miss Barbados, and then A Sweet Life, which is in the top 5% of all podcasts globally, shot here at the hotel.
Nice.
My good friends, Chief and Rashid Malik. And, it's just been really interesting to see that as you continue to partner with certain individuals and brands, then they start, if the experience, of course, was a great experience, they start introducing you to other partnerships.
Yeah.
So you start building out a partnership bubble.
Right.
Right.
So, I mean, because, you have like your rooftop, the highlight, which is spectacular.
Right. And if you count that as a strategic partner, that's Tao Group. So that would be a major strategic partner.
Yeah.
I just consider them one of us as a family.
Got it. So can you talk to me a little bit more about that? The Tao Group, they're a major player in the nightlife space.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it seems like Dream, Hollywood, and Tao are in this marriage.
Yeah. Well, Tao and Dream embarked on a first of its kind experience at Dream Downtown, where we had PhD, we had Electric Room, we had Bodega Negra, and right around the corner was Avenue, and then right around the other corner was Marquee.
Wow.
So I think seeing how fruitful that partnership was for us allowed us to want to explore it further for other hotels that we were opening, but to see, the undisputed heavyweight champions of the world continue to dominate, and that's Tao Group, has been really encouraging for me, man, because I've known those guys since 2011, and to see how they've scaled and grown immensely, it speaks volumes to their ability and their aptitude to operate and execute at a high level and create iconic moments for everyone that visits their venues.
Okay, wow. And I love the collaboration that you two have established together. You guys continue to deliver the most iconic nightlife moments LA has ever seen. I love that a lot. I imagine, though, or if you could just speak to me a little bit about some of the unique challenges or advantages that Dream Hollywood had, over other hotels that are competing for similar market share in LA versus, other markets like New York or Nashville.
Yeah, absolutely. So service would be number one for us, right? So we were ranked in the top 5 of TripAdvisor, I think 4 years straight from 2019 up until today. So I'm really proud of the team for that. I think currently we're sitting in the top 20, and the team fully intends to get back into the top 5. Yeah. But service is definitely number one for us. Our net promoter scores are off the charts, world-class level net promoter scores. And then the guest journey, what we've built, the unique guest journey that we have, where it's infused with robotics and artificial intelligence, gives us an edge to be able to create these unique moments and experiences for guests that a lot of other hotels, they don't have access to, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And then, of course, as I mentioned, all the programming we have on a daily basis, so 7 days worth of programming, the decor of the rooms, the ambiance, the floor-to-ceiling windows, the stunning views, the Hollywood Hills, the Hollywood sign. We have balconies on the 9th floor, balcony on the 3rd floor. So if you ever want to book a room where you don't have to be, in a room itself, and you have the opportunity to step outside into a balcony to experience the wonderful weather we have here pretty much year-round in Los Angeles, you can do that. But what we also wanted to create was an ecosystem where it will be a one-stop shop for everything.
Wow.
Where you wouldn't have to leave the hotel. In a sense, like a micro metropolitan resort.
Yeah.
Right. So we partnered with Athletic Gains, who's another strategic partner, and they are now operating our gym on the 2nd floor. So we created a health and wellness component now where our guests can stay at the hotel, work out, go upstairs, get a healthy bite to eat, go back to their room, get prepared for their meetings for the day, come back, enjoy lunch on the rooftop, head out again to have drinks in the lobby bar, then go to the restaurant for jazz night. And then after the restaurant, come back to your room for a peaceful night's rest and rinse and repeat.
And that you've done extremely well. Like, this is truly a one-stop shop destination.
It is.
For nightlife and hospitality. It was a pleasure even experiencing this. It was also a greater pleasure you taking the time to chat with us today.
Yeah.
And coming on our show on the How to Be a Host podcast.
Thank you.
I know we're out of time, Vaughn. This was great. And thanks again for your time.
Yeah, no, thank you. And let's do it again soon. We'll do a long format version.
Yeah, definitely.
We can take a deep dive.
Yeah, I love that.
Thank you so much for having me. This was a blast.
Sounds good.
Cheers.